deeply personal. It's a mistake I made. The mistake I regret the most in my finances. I don't want you to make this mistake. And I look around me, I see so many young people making exactly the same mistakes. You know, I had a career in the oil and gas industry. I worked with Shell. I started my career with Shell. And then while I was working with Shell, Chevron came and made me an offer that I couldn't say no to at the time, because at the time in Shell, remote sensing and geographic information systems were very, very new technologies. And what I have discovered about the oil and gas industry is that they are technology adopters. Excuse me. And so it made people like us, who were the very first set of people trained in remote sensing and in geographic information systems from around here, it made it extremely, made us very, very rare and very, very competitive. So at the time, Chevron offered nearly 3 times what Shell was paying me. And I left Chevron and I left Shell and went to Chevron. Then I worked in Chevron for 6 years, and Shell came back and said, we want you back. And I said, prove it. And they did. They offered more than twice what Chevron was paying me at the time. So I left Chevron and went back to Shell. And then you would have been thinking, whoa, his world was made. This guy will never have financial problems again for the rest of his life. Who told you? Who told you? It's because of this simple mistake. This terrible. When I look back, it's terrible. But you know, regret is not a financial strategy. Type that. Regret is not a financial strategy. Life is meant to be lived forward, into the future, not looking back. When you look back, what the past can do for you is to unleash its wisdom. So you get the wisdom from the past and invest it in the future, making sure that you don't repeat the mistakes of your past. So right now, I don't do that mistake no more. What was a mistake? It's something I call capital cannibalization. Please, everybody type it, because that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about the psychology of capital cannibalization. Why you keep eating your wealth and what to do about it. Please type it in the comment section. Capital cannibalization. That was the mistake. And I'm going to tell you what capital cannibalization is, and I will tell you the psychology. And then, based on understanding of the psychology, you yourself will not repeat that mistake. And then you will not also let your children make that mistake. So most people, from my experience, are not struggling financially because they don't earn enough. I was earning enough in Shell. Give me a break. I mean, in Shell in those days and in Chevron in those days, I was at the top 0.01% highest paid set of people in the country. But you see, I was broke, not because I didn't earn enough, but because I kept eating the very wealth that I was supposed to use to build my future. So capital cannibalization is the silent, destructive habit. It's silent and it's very destructive, very deadly habit of consuming the seeds of your own financial future. And this is like a mic drop moment. That is what capital cannibalization is, and that is what is holding so many of us financially captive. We're cannibalizing the capital that's supposed to be the seed for our own financial future. We are consuming the seed right now. And the painful part is that you don't even know you are doing it, because it's not a money problem. It's a psychology problem. You don't even know you're doing it. And it's a cycle. You earn, you spend, and you stay stuck. You earn, you spend, and you stay stuck. Month after month, you earn, you spend, and you stay stuck. So in today's session, I'm going to break this down practically for you. It's not going to be boring theories. You know, I don't do boring theories. And then most of the things I teach, because I follow the Ezra principle, study, practice, and teach, they are things that are real life, we don't do any hypes here. We don't do any hypes. Oh, come, you earn $10,000 a day doing nothing. Nah, the world doesn't work like that. And then I will also give you like a 3-step solution that if you do it, you will never, believe me, that's my experience. If you do it, you will never stay broke again. So let's talk about capital cannibalization. Let's define it a little bit more and bring it down to everybody to be able to pick it up. So I was a capital cannibal for years. I earned big salary, but I funded vacations outside the country. I bought gadgets. I bought cars. In fact, when Chevron gave me the car grant, for those of you who have worked in Chevron or you work in Chevron, I don't know if it's still like that, but the time I worked in Chevron, after 6 months or so, they gave you a car grant. Man, it was a sizable amount of money. And that money was enough to buy you any car. But do you know what I did? I even collected more money, additional money from the Chevron Credit Union, from the cooperative, added to it and bought an SUV. I just feel like slapping myself. Because at that time, if I bought just 100, and I had done the math in another video, if I had bought just $113 worth of Apple, $113 in 2000 when I joined Chevron, and I had the money, I had lots of it, even dollars, because I would travel to the United States. Chevron would pay me the per diem. Lots of money. I had lots of money there, cash, dollars, and also in the Chevron Credit Union in San Ramon. If I had bought $113 worth of Apple in 2000, today, as I'm speaking to you, I'll be sitting on $2.3 something million. But what did I do? I cannibalized my capital. I bought gadgets, bought big car. So do you see why capital cannibalization is very painful? And why, if you don't take hold of yourself after cannibalizing your capital and coming to my age, if you don't take hold of yourself, you will hurt yourself, because the pain is horrible. Believe me, in 2000, I had enough dollars to have bought 10,000 shares of Apple. It was just $1.13 for a share of Apple. And then between that time, they had done several splits, 7 for 1, 4 for 1, 2 for 1, several times. But what did I do? I ate the seed of my financial future. So capital cannibalization is when you use today's active income to pay for a lifestyle that your investment should be funding. That is capital cannibalization. And if you are guilty of it, I usually want you to confess. This session is usually a moment of truth. I don't come here to pat you on the back or to tell you soft life things. No, it's true. If you're cannibalizing your capital, you're using your active income, your salary, or your investment from your business, profit from your business, or your side hustle, and you're using it to fund lifestyle, to go on vacation, take picture, and come to social media and post, hey, we are in Fiji Island, my family and me and all that. Oh, we are going to the UK. From UK, we'll go to Canada. I'm sorry for you. You are a capital cannibal. All right, so if you are doing that right now, if you're cannibalizing your capital right now that I have defined it, it is spending your active income. Your active income is the income you earn by selling your time for money. And then you pick that active income to go on fancy holidays, or to buy gadgets, or to buy fancy cars. You're a capital cannibal like I was. So if you're a capital cannibal, just type in the comment section, I'm guilty. Type it. Type in the comment section, I'm guilty. So take note of this. When you eat your capital, you forfeit your future rent payments from life. The old prophet Isaiah told us something about capital. He said that whenever you get any active income, that active income has two parts. One is the bread for the eater, and two is the seed for the sower. And then some of you are complaining, oh, I earn a very little amount of money. I earn just $100,000. It doesn't, it's 100,000 naira or so. Oh, I only earn $65 a month. I can't save. It's not even enough. I'm telling you, your future self will punish you. No matter how small your income is, a part of it is bread for eating, for spending, so that you can maintain yourself, you can stay alive and function. But there's a part of it, it's tiny, which is a seed. That seed. So that's what scripture says. The wisdom of scripture is incredible. No matter how small your salary, there's a part, small part. You know, a seed is usually tiny. It doesn't even have to be 10%. Even if it's 3% of that, your 100,000 naira, or 5%, is seed. Don't eat it. Seeds are usually very small and it's insignificant. Don't say, oh, 5% of my salary is only 2,000 naira, so what can it do? Eat seed. What can seed do? I have found out that 1 grain of corn, of maize, you plant, yields about between 2,600 and 2,800 grains. Can you beat God when it comes to compounding or multiplication? You plant 1 seed and you get 2,800. So don't say it is small, it's seed. It's a seed for your future. So don't be a capital cannibal. Your job is the seed. The investments are the tree. Your passive income is the fruit. If you eat the seed, there's going to be no tree, no fruit. All you are going to have is labor. And that's why the lack of passive income is the reason many people work until they die. You can type that in the comment section. Lack of passive income is the very reason that many people in the world die working, die still laboring. Because if you can't put your money to work for you, then you've got to work for your money till you die. And it doesn't work that way. Okay, so now let me talk a little bit about the psychology of capital cannibalization, because you need to understand. I always want to understand the psychology of certain things, and then I am able to create a solution knowing where it is coming from. So why do we do this? Why do we cannibalize our own capital? Before I actually show you the psychological traps, I would like to have some of you suggest your answer, suggest your ideas. Why do you do it? And why do you see people around cannibalizing their capital? Type it in the comment section. It could be your colleagues, it could be your neighbors, it could be your church members, it could be anybody, you know? So, why do people cannibalize their own capital? Why do people eat their seed today and then suffer in the future? Why do they use their active income for so-called enjoyment and leave nothing? They just earn money, they spend it, and then they repeat the cycle. Why do people do it? Okay, Elizabeth says to impress others. Absolutely. Absolutely. People do it. Yeah, Augustine said to show off. Very, very true. That's what people do. I do not know what people show off. You know, I remember some time ago, I had a phone, which I had for a long time. And then somebody came, took a look at my phone. He said, Ubo, this does not fit you. It does not fit your status. The phone was serving me. It worked for me. It was doing everything I wanted it to do. Taking pictures. It was answering phone calls, sending messages. And then somebody came. Oh, this is like 7 generations ago of phone. And so many of us allow people to put us under unnecessary. Who defined what is my status? Who defined the phone that is my status? And so people do that to impress others. And then Florence Shaw said they desire quick satisfaction. Absolutely. That's very true. John Otto says the reason is that they don't know what money what money is and how it works. Absolutely. People have no idea, to be honest, what money is. And Joy says black tax is another one. I'm going to do a series on black tax next week because our people over there are terribly suffering. Terribly suffering. And every year, when I read from the World Bank reports, the inflow, what do they call it? Not capital inflow. What do they call it? When you send money, how do they capture it? Remind me. Sometimes, when you are thinking, this thing it just plays butterflies in your mind. Anyway, so the money that Nigeria receives from people in the diaspora, I'm hearing numbers like 20 remittance. Thank you very much. Remittance, yes. Ola, thank you. Yeah. And then somebody is saying black tax is what killed me. I am telling you, it's not just killing you, it's killing a lot of people. $20 billion. And I drive around and I don't see, do you know that 20? So even if it's $2 billion that people, relations send home every year, even $2 billion is a heck of a lot of money. You should be seeing it, but you don't. So what happens to $20 billion? So when I now come over there to visit you guys in the United States, in Canada, in different parts of Europe, you're working your asses off, doing 3 jobs. And then somebody is staying back at home in Ghana or in Uganda or in Nigeria. You remember also, you have not sent anything this month. Our electricity bill is gone. I need to buy fuel in my car. That car, mechanic said, is going to cost such and such and such. And then you're sending money. These people have no idea what you suffer to make that money you send to them. Then the worst that I've even seen is that you now sweat and send that money to them, and you send $500, and then your brother or your uncle is only $500. Is that what you're sending? Do you know how? By the time I pay this person's school fee, by the time we do this one, and then we weed the loan, our loan, 500. What is $500? Your mates are sending $10,000. The other person sent $20,000 to his father, and you are sending $500. Man, this is insanely wrong. So I'm going to do something about black tax. I'm going to do something about it. And then some of you actually saw the story recent times of a gentleman who retired in the US, came down to Nigeria. I don't know how many of you saw that story. I didn't follow it well, but I think the girl's name, his daughter's name, Ifunanya, the man came down here. And then his own relations, including siblings, dumped this man, abandoned him in a dingy house somewhere. And the guy was dying, but they were collecting his $5,000 a month pension. Wickedness. Guys, you've got to do something about that black tax. I'm sorry, this is like off subject, but just because somebody mentioned it, but I'm going to talk about that black tax. It's terrible. At some times, let me just drop this before I do the black tax series. Listen, they better call you wicked. You better be wicked, in quote, for a time. Decide, yes, I'm going to be wicked for the next 5 years. Wicked, in quote. And you discover that in the 5 years, you stop killing yourself for these people, that they won't die. 5 years, you use that time to get yourself together, to build your financial foundation, because if you don't, you are not standing, and then you're carrying people back home in your country who are also not standing. Both of you will fall. And then it's not uncommon to find people who have stayed in the United States for 40 years, Africans, 40 years, they have nothing. Nothing. I see them, they're all over the place. But then for the 40 years, you've literally lived for the people in the village. And yet their lives are not getting better. And your own over there is not getting better, but because you are making dollars. Anyway, so forgive me. I sort of got sidetracked, by that. Samba said, I've been in the USA for 24 years this July. My mom passed in 2015, and siblings thought I would keep sending money and food provisions. I said no. So now I am the enemy. Exactly. The enemy. They won't die. If you die, they will still eat food. And they will still continue to eat food. Don't worry, Samba. I'm going to talk about black tax. Okay. So your answers and your suggestions are spot on. The psychological reason people keep doing is, number one, there's what we call the present bias. Present. So your brain is addicted to the now. So it prioritizes immediate pleasure. You have to understand that. Your brain is wired to prioritize immediate pleasure over long-term gain. That is why for some of us men who can't control ourselves, you're married, you travel somewhere, you are seeing that woman you just met at the lobby in the hotel you are staying, and there's a way she's dressed, and then she whatever. Something inside you is telling you, don't go, don't go, don't go. You are married, you have children. The long-term implication on your marriage will be terrible. But because your brain is wired for this immediate whatever, you go. You go. And then you come back home, and then life is never the same again. So you sacrifice 2-minute pleasure for the long-term happiness of your marriage. So you have to be aware about that, the present bias. This is why a vacation feels more valuable than a portfolio that you can't see. This is why buying that ticket to fly to Dubai, fly to Hong Kong, whatever. What are your favorite destinations? To fly to, and tickets are not even cheap. I was looking at tickets from Lagos to Ghana. I was shocked. Then I checked a ticket from Lagos to Monrovia, ordinary Monrovia here. I was shocked. You hardly find any return tickets under 1 point something million. And then your office just gives you a bonus of 5 million. First thing, even the 5 million will do tickets for 2 to London, to UK. And then you have to borrow money from the bank, or borrow money or sell your shares to do vacation. God, who did that to you? Like we say in Africa. So that's why your brain will trade 30 years of freedom for 3 days of pleasure, unless you train it. Okay, that's the sentence I want you to capture, because I'm not just saying because your brain is wired like that, so you have to behave like that. So write it down. I'm going to say it again. Your brain will trade 30 years of freedom for 3 days of pleasure, unless you train it. That's where the solution be. You've got to train your brain. There's a car. I wanted a car. I want a car. And I said the other day, I had the money just 2-3 weeks ago to buy the car. My brain was screaming, buy the car, you need the car. Why do you keep on trekking? And why do you keep on driving this hefty truck all over town? Buy that car. Make your life simple. You are too visible in that big truck, which is true. Too visible, and I hate visibility. Many of you who are close to me know I'm a very private person, so I might come in the public, talk, but I'm very private. So my brain was saying, buy the car, and you know how much cars, not Nigerian used cars, you know how much it costs right now. I had the money to buy, but because I had trained my brain, I said, no, this car can wait a little more. Let me put it in the opportunities I'm seeing in the stock market. By the way, today I received so many messages from people in the financial fitness group and in other places telling me how they made much money. One lady said she's made 1.5 million. Was it 1 million or 1.5 million in the past 1 week, buying the stock I recommended in the group. So I know that car, that money I was to have bought a car with, I do know, I can guarantee you, I'll still do something like this in another 3-5 years. And I will tell you that money could now buy me 5 more cars of that particular car. 5. Because I've trained my brain to be very careful about the now. It applies to your sexuality, because that's why many of us fall into trouble, especially men. That's why we fall into trouble. If you can't train your brain to understand that what it's about to do is to trade your 30 years of freedom for just 3 minutes of pleasure, don't do it. Okay. Number 2, second psychological reason why people cannibalize their capital, why people become capital cannibals, is lifestyle inflation illusion. And I will explain what that means. Lifestyle inflation illusion. So you think that any more gives you permission to spend more. I think there's another law it's called, whether it's Parkinson's or something. Correct me if you know about it. Parkinson's. So your money, and King Solomon also said it, when your money increases, the mouths that eat the money also increase. The mouth that eat the money also increase. And I tell you, these are the tiny things. When I go out there and tell people these things, they think that I'm being very cryptic, or that I'm just being, they say it's motivation. This is not motivational. This is life. So there's that illusion, as you're earning more, you spend more. You're a bachelor or a spinster, you're doing well in that your studio apartment. You're doing well. Everything you need is there. Very comfortable place. Then you get an offer, another job, and they triple your salary, what you're earning in this current job. What do? I'm moving out of this neighborhood. And then you, the same person, your needs have not changed. You now move from that place you're staying to an upper neighborhood. And then you start paying 5 times, 7 times the rent. Somebody literally did this. And I asked him why. He said, so at the time he was living like somewhere in Agege, for some of you who know Lagos. And then something happened. He did a job. It was even one-time job. Got a big pay. This guy moved from where he was living in Agege, if you know where Agege is, moved all the way up, several ladders up to Lekki Phase 1. Paid huge rent. I said, this is not wise. Why do you do that? Because see, I've made this mistake myself. And I'm telling young people, why are you doing it? He said he wants to stay in a place where he was saying something about that reflects his new status. You know what happened? After the 1 year rent, he came back to me. He couldn't pay the second one. He's moved out again. Foolishness. Financial foolishness. So there's that illusion that because you're earning more money, that you have to spend more. It doesn't work like that, okay? So if your income grows, but your investment doesn't, you are not rising. You are sinking in style. This is tweetable. This is mic drop. If your income grows, but your investments don't, you are not rising. You are not going up. You are sinking in style. You've moved to Lekki Phase 1, to that big neighborhood in Accra, Airport Residential, where I used to stay, Cantonment. You're moving all the way from what I always say, Ado Braka or something, and then you're moving to East Legon, to Airport Residential, to reflect on new status. Hunger will finish your future. I'm telling you. But some people always think, I'm smarter. It happened to Obo because he wasn't smart. I'm smarter. And then you go and do that. Capital cannibalization will punish you. Capital cannibalization will punish you. I'm telling you. So you don't use an increase in salary, or you just earn some money from your side hustle or something, or maybe YouTube pays you a lot of money. Then all of a sudden you upgrade your neighborhood. You upgrade your car. Nah, I can't do Toyota Corolla. It's got to be G-Wagon. People do it every day around you. Number 3, some of you have mentioned that the third psychological reason that people cannibalize their capital is social comparison pressure. Social comparison pressure. So you are buying things to keep up appearances. The car, the house, the clothes, they become symbols of arrival. Even when your financial engine is on life support. I saw a post today. Oh, Vicky James bought this dress for 2 million. And then all the young girls over there will start looking for 2 million, or looking for a boyfriend or a man who will give them 2 million to buy that dress. My goodness. See, poverty is not the lack of cash. Poverty is the lack of sense. Poverty has nothing to do with cash. Poverty has a lot to do with your mindset. So, social comparisons, wanting to be perceived as upwardly mobile, as your belonging, and you're spending in a way that your financial engine can't even support it. Your financial engine cannot support that lifestyle. Okay, so make note of this aha moment. If you win the approval of people while losing your capital, you've bought applause with your future. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. What shall it profit a man if you lose your capital and gain the approval of people? What does your approval of me have to do? What does it have to do for me? That you approve me or you don't approve? What in the world does he do for me? Your approval does not pay me. It does not buy diesel for my generator. It does not pay my light bills. So why should I be under the pressure to buy things that I don't need just to make you happy? Okay, so now let's talk about the uncommon solution. 3 practical solutions. Step number 1, make a note of this. Segregate your income streams. Type it. Segregate your income streams. So from now on, every naira, every cedi, every rand, every dollar you earn must be divided into 2 strict lanes. Listen very carefully. I already told you that there's one part that is bread and the other part is seed. So, number 1, your active income pays for investing, building assets, buying cash flow. That's 1. And 2, your passive income, dividends, rents, royalties, pays for lifestyle and leisure. In other words, what this is talking about is a total paradigm shift in which your passive income pays for your lifestyle. I made that mindset shift, and it helped. So now I want to buy a car, but I don't want to buy a car from my active income. I want my dividends. I want the profit or the dividends from my investment to buy that. And it is absolutely possible. I don't want to start throwing numbers of what happened just in the past 1 week. To some of you who follow me and some of you who listened, when I said you should buy Kutix 2 naira 40 kobo, and Kutix went all the way to 4 naira 21. Some people made nearly 100% if they invested 10 million naira last 2 weeks ago. In 2 weeks, that 10 million naira has become 18 to 19 million. So, I can take the capital, even the capital appreciation, if I don't want to wait for dividend. Capital appreciation in 2 weeks of 9 million. I can use that. I can use that to buy a car. So you need to rewire your brain to stop using your active capital other than for investing. Now, because you don't have any passive income yet, it might take time to build. But what I recommend for all of us, especially those of us already in our 40s and 50s and 60s, looking toward retirement, what I strongly recommend is, in fact, even those of you in your 20s and 30s, everybody, your single most important goal is to go 100% passive income. But right now, maybe your passive income is only 5% of your income. It's okay. Maybe some of you even have 0 passive income. Okay, in fact, let's take a poll. Let me just have an idea, because this is a coaching session. So I need to read, I need to interact with you, and then make sure that you are getting value from what I'm saying. So let's say that in a year that you make a certain amount of income, everything that comes to you. My question is, How much of it? Just give me a rough percentage. How much of your total income annually is passive, and how much is so how much of it is passive? So you can say half of it, you can say 1%, you can say 0. Let's just take it, just give a rough whatever, and please be authentic. We don't lie here. We're not trying to impress anybody. Just be authentic. How much of your passive income, and I'm going to tell you and interpret the result for you. How much of your income is passive? Just a rough percentage. It could be 0, it could be 1%, it could be 80%. Maybe you're already retired and then most of the things, okay. Right. So I can see 0, Machiavelli, Rich Davis, 0. Last year, 80%. This year, 0. Okay, 0, 2%. Yeah. Uche says 1%. Faceless Baby Face. Wow, what a name. Says 0. Okay. Amor says 10% for now. Fantastic. So what I'm seeing here, Samba 0, Marshall 0. Ladies and gentlemen, I plead with you. As you keep following me, please, I plead with you. If there is nothing you learn from me this year, please, I want you to make this your most important goal. Build passive income as much as possible. I'm so aggressive about passive income that I want to see my passive income become like 100% of my income in the next 5 years. I'm very aggressive about it. So this is the income, and then the only way you can make that happen, please listen very carefully, because I'm seeing lots of zeros here, and I'm seeing a few tens. I've even seen 30%. That is fantastic, Frank. And please, Frank, tell us, for our learning, how you are able to do that, because that is fantastic. Please make it your goal. If somebody asks you what is your financial goal, tell them that Obo said your financial goal should be 100% passive income. Don't start telling me I want to build a house, I want to buy a car, I want to. In Nigeria, I keep hearing young people say, I want to make it in life. And I'm like, what in the world? I want to make it. I hate that expression. What is you want to make it in life? If somebody asks you your financial goal, say your financial goal is in the next 5 to 10 years for in the next 10 years for your income to be 100% passive. Of course, it doesn't mean that you won't do some active things. You can still do some active things, like if you have, but it's going to be out of fun, not out of survival. So that should be your major goal. Because, ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't matter how old you are. The day your passive income becomes 90 to 100%, you can retire, even at 30, 35. The secret is not cash. The secret is not how much you have saved. The secret is your passive income, the asset that you've built that's constantly generating passive income. And there are ways to build that portfolio. And if what I'm saying, if you don't even understand it, or is something you want to find out more, please, by all means, join the Financial Fitness Challenge. By the way, today, maybe going to this weekend, is the final day for this cohort. And listen to me, after this cohort, we won't do another one, because I'm taking a mini sabbatical, like 1 month off. So we're not going to have Financial Fitness Challenge cohort class next month. Join this one. The next time we're going to have it will probably be in September or October. Join today so that you can practice, you can have the worksheets and the guidance to be able to implement these things I'm talking about, to even have clarity around your financial life. And so after this, I'm going to tell you how to join the Financial Fitness Challenge. All right. So that is the first step. Segregate your income streams into 2 strict lanes. One is active income that basically funds your investing to build assets and to buy cash flow. And then the other one is passive income that pays for your lifestyle and leisure. Oh, I'm looking forward to the day where my entire vacation, I take a vacation with my wife or with my family, and then it's all paid for from the money that I invested that is working for me. That's the definition of wealth. These things people go around in social media showing you big cars and houses. Guys, that's poverty. The truly wealthy people don't do all those things. Doing photo ops, they don't do all those things. And I'm telling you, I'm friends with wealthy individuals, very wealthy individuals. They are extremely quiet. They are extremely quiet. Even their children, quiet, well behaved. But it's just the poor people. Oh, my son just graduated. Look at, and then they show us pictures of their son graduating from Oxford University, and then put it on social media. What for? Truly rich people don't do that. And their children are there. They're protecting their children. You don't know anything. But there are people. Oh, your son just graduated from one primary school, a private primary school or secondary school. Your son's pictures are all over the place on the internet. Nah, that's not a wealth habit. Okay? If your passive income can't fund the vacation, don't take the vacation. It's simple, it's brutal, but it's powerful. Wait until the time your passive income will take the vacation for you. That's what happened to me. In Chevron, I used the car grant, bought car. Some other guy I knew in the place who was financially wiser than myself, because I didn't develop financial intelligence early. He put his own in stocks. I didn't even know what stocks were. I just hear about stocks. He put it in stocks. 5 years after, my car, of course, was already dead. In fact, the car, I started loathing it. I hated that truck so much. I sold it. At some point, the auxiliary 4-wheel drive facility that I used to go and drive along the beach, which ordinary cars couldn't go at the time. I used to go drive around the sand and all that. One day, the thing spoiled, and I didn't know. So I got it to drive by the beach, and the thing stuck in the sand. It's stuck in the sand. That's my car. I got angry. They could never repair it again, so I sold it off. Meanwhile, that guy, after 5 years, he offloaded. He bought some IPOs of some of these fantastic banks. Bought IPOs at the time. Within 5 years, this guy sold it and bought a house in an estate close to Chevron. They bought a house. My car was not there. Do you see how capital cannibalization is very wicked? And why it's eating up your future? Okay, so if your passive income can't fund it, please don't do it. All right? Active income builds, passive income spends. Never confuse the two. So right now, you may not have the passive income, so you'll still be wise, balancing it. So you'll still be spending from your active income to at least maintain yourself. But more importantly, you can start side hustles to supplement and grow your income. Nobody says that it's only the salary. Who lives only on salary only? Who, in 2025, who lives on salary only? All right, so find side hustles, because the other thing I advise is so you can split the income, or you can find 2 incomes. You accomplish the same thing. Make sure you have at least 2 income streams. One funds your living expenses, and then the other one strictly funds your investment, and then maybe your generosity, because giving is another whole secret altogether. Okay, step number 2, create a psychological delay system. Please type it in the comment section. Remember, step number 1 is to segregate your income streams. Step number 2 is to create a psychological delay system. Very important. So set a personal rule that I must wait for 30 days before I can buy anything above 1 million. I will wait for 30 days before I can buy anything above 10 million. Set it. It's a psychological rule. And it's going to help you a lot. So I can buy any item above 10 million. So this delays the emotional, because the biggest problem, remember I told you already that we are wired for the now. We are wired for gratification now. So if you can create that psychological time delay system, agree with your spouse, agree with somebody, have some accountability. And you say, I want to buy that car. It's 17 million. But your psychological delay system says, to buy anything above 10 million, I have to give it 30 days. And you see, it takes care of that emotional rush and gives you time to rethink. The times I have used psychological delay, ladies and gentlemen, even sometimes 24 hours, just sleeping over something, I wake up and say, no way, I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that. Again, But if you don't have that delay and you don't set it ahead of time, it will hurt you. Okay? Now, your cravings have a lifespan. That's the good news. Your cravings have a lifespan. Starve them of urgency and they die quietly. It doesn't matter what the craving is. You know, I already mentioned something about your sexuality. I keep saying that because one day I'm going to do a session on that, because the reason many of us are struggling financially has to do with our lack of self-control when it comes to sexuality. Solomon said that the adulterer turns a man to a loaf of bread. What's a loaf of bread? You know, a loaf of bread looks big, but it doesn't have substance. By the time you squeeze it, it's just that. That's what, you know, sexual immorality does to people and their finances. So it's the same thing. Your cravings have a lifespan. That urge, it has a lifespan. And that's a good news. That's good news, isn't it? Isn't it? Because if the cravings were continuous and it was supposed to continue, then we're in trouble. By realizing that it has a lifespan, then you can starve them of urgency. And then they will die quietly. Isn't that good news? Step number 3. Live like you are still broke until your assets can pay your bill. Live like you are still broke until your assets can pay your bills. So I have a friend, my goodness, this guy and his wife and family. You see them, very simple, had the same old car that, you know, they were riding and all that. And the day this guy told me how he bought not just one house or 2 houses, that he actually lived in his own house in Lagos and probably has another house. And then the assets accumulated. I was shocked. This quiet, if you see him on the road, you would think he's whatever. The guy was living like he was broke. And whenever people were, you know, if we were meetings where we were talking about big money, and people are saying, I would donate this, I would donate, you know, he's just there. Others might be impressing the audience by donating 1 million or something. He will do his 3,000 or 5,000. Contented and then happy. So live like you're still broke until your assets can pay your bills. So I know that this is hard for a lot of people, especially for young people, for this so-called Gen Z. I know it's hard, but I tell you, that is where wealth is made. So stay grounded, delay lifestyle upgrades until your assets can fuel it. I can't say this over and over enough. Delay lifestyle upgrades. I'm old enough to be able to tell you younger ones, don't wait until you become my age to find out that you should have delayed lifestyle upgrades until your assets can fund them. So in summary, don't spend like a boss until your assets can pay like a boss. I just dropped some honey. Don't spend like a boss until your assets, until your portfolio can pay like a boss. So you see some of these MDs of companies, they're earning tens of millions. Don't live like them. Don't try to imitate them. Don't go and live in very expensive neighborhoods where they're, until your own assets, your portfolio can pay that. So wealthy people live poor for years so they can live rich forever. But poor people live rich for years and stay poor forever. I don't know why this thing happens, but you look around you, it's always like that. And many times it is poor people who are always trying to impress. I don't know why it's like that. Okay, so capital cannibalization is not just about money. It's about the future you're quietly eating today, but you can stop it. You can build a life where your money works for you, where your capital feeds you, instead of you feeding your capital. So remember, you don't escape poverty by earning more. You escape poverty by building what pays you when you stop working. A lot of people do not stop to think about when they stop working. They don't even stop to think about what is suppose an emergency happens, even at 40, and something happens, God forbid, you become disabled, an accident or something. Like a young man who had an accident and had spinal cord injury. He was a businessman, a trader, doing extremely well. But that was it. That was it. What you build can pay you for the rest of your life. So, and the question for you now, what you have built right now, the asset, your portfolio, if you stopped working today, can it pay you for another 40 or 50 years? You know, we are all living longer. Have you noticed we live longer now? Even with all the dangers and challenges in the world, we live longer. So for those of you who are 50, do not be surprised that you're still going to be here for another 40 years, because I walk around and I see men in their 90s. And I see people, parents I have friends whose parents are in their 90s. And some of the people in their 90s, I have my mentors, 3 top mentors, are in their 90s. So, what will you do when you stop working? What's going to fund 40 years of your life? This is why I am on these sessions every day doing this. It's not convenient for me. As you can tell, it's tasking. Every weekday, I am here speaking to you. Promise me that my labor is not going to be in vain. Promise me that when I see you in another 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years, wherever I run into you from whatever country you're watching, that you're going to say, thank you. I listened to you and I'm a wealthy man today. That's my gratification. That's why I do this. Free of charge to you every day, but it's not free to me. Okay? Now, if you want to join the Financial Fitness Challenge, of course, all the things I teach you, there are people who are profiting, doing it themselves. That's good. But there are some other people who say, listen, Obo, I don't have all the time. I need your guidance. Just give it to me, pam, 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 within 3 weeks, what I need to do to create a money system that works for me. If that is you, take down this number now. I'm going to give you. It's a WhatsApp number, and I'm going to tell you what to send to that WhatsApp number. The WhatsApp number is +234 8088 000 111. All you need to say is send me early payment details. Don't put stories there. Just say send me early payment details, and then you will join the current cohort, which is about to start in a couple of days, because we're not going to have another cohort after this until maybe a month or 2. So join now so that you can start taking advantage even of the opportunities in the stock market. Right now, I'm going to do some fresh recommendations in the group next week. Become wealthy, because you should. And making money is very easy. All right, so let me read a few of your aha moments before we round it off for tonight. Oh, thank you, Festus. This is so kind of you. Yeah, that my labor shall not be in vain. Thank you, Annie. Thank you. Babyface says, repeat the numbers. +234 8088 000 111. It's also in the description of this video. So if you forget it, you can look there. Claret says, the aha moment is that the lack of passive income is the very reason people work till they die. Absolutely. Because if you don't work for your money, if you don't let your money work for you, then you have to work for it until you die. Priska, my darling sister. Priska says, my aha moment is poverty is not the lack of cash, but the lack of sense. Oh, Pascal Godin, thank you so much. This is so kind of you. I'm receiving so much love tonight. Thank you. Pascal says, we love you, sir. Thank you. I love you too. Yeah. Samba, thank you. Your sacrifice shall not be in vain. Ola says so. Your labor won't be in vain. And my labor too won't be in vain. Absolutely. I say amen to that. Thank you very much. Thank you. Elizabeth also says that. Thank you so much. Yeah, and I see so many aha moments here. Right. Thank you so much. Machiavelli says, my aha moment, if your income grows but your investment remains stagnant, you are not rising, but you are sinking in style. Absolutely. Obafemi says, don't eat your future. Elizabeth said, my aha moment is my goal is to go 100% passive income. Absolutely, Elizabeth. And I'm so proud of you, Elizabeth. So proud of your your progress, and I'm going to personally celebrate you. Festus says, live like you're still broke until your assets can pay your bill. Absolutely. Victoria, thank you. This is so kind of you. Your labor is not going to be in vain in your life. Okay, very good. And then Simply Dami, thank you so much. Simply Dami says you are an inspiration. All right, absolutely. Thank you all very much. So it's been a wonderful week, and because this is Friday, this is the last live session for this week, and I'm going to see you same time on Monday evening. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, do so. I think it was a mistake that you haven't done so. Do so, and then make sure to hit the notification bell so that anytime a new video drops or anytime I'm live, you're going to get the notification. And then before you leave, if you haven't already liked this session or you haven't already shared it with somebody, please do that. It's really important that this information goes out to as many people as possible. And then I will appreciate you doing that favor. I will actually appreciate it. So share it wide and then love it. And whatever happens, ladies and gentlemen, you have a wonderful weekend and keep showing up because you have no idea what's coming your way next. See you same time on Monday. God bless you.